opposing views, which is great because in our opposition, we can maybe find common ground or just better understanding or just viral content for you guys that are watching, basically, right? So
all right.
I wanted to clear that up, Destiny. I really have never seen any of your content, but I just, met your wife, and it was kind of unpleasant, actually, fairly unpleasant, and I'm really easygoing. So for me to say that about someone was very, very. Now this isn't Melina, right?
No. Okay.
No.
Not only am I not
Wait,
Melina,
stop.
to call
No,
her.
stop. Okay, sorry. She's a simp. Okay.
No, yeah, I am a simp for Melina.
Stop. Let me have a conversation. You need to stop. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm shutting
Yeah. Okay.
So I was just curious. This isn't Melina. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to be talking about you if this wasn't you, but I sat a few chairs down from you, and I didn't think it was you, but I wasn't sure. So I'm old, so maybe my eyes were deceiving me.
You're good.
This is not Melina, for the record.
Yeah. You're
Okay.
good.
She
You're
might
good.
have been confused.
Also,
I'm a masculine.
your audio is still crackling a little bit. Can you fix that, please?
How about now?
That's a million times better. Okay, you know what? Let's do this then. Let's just do a full-on open panel. You guys can just go in whatever order you want. There's no order. Just you can kick it off, Destiny. You can kick it off, Janelle. If you guys are really lost, it's better.
Is that better?
No.
Yeah, it's better.
No?
No, it's better. It's better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's better. I just took the headset off, so
Yeah, you sound good now.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better?
Fine.
I'm so sorry. I have this kick-ass studio, which I do not know how to use. So normally someone's here to do all this, and today I'm solo. So I apologize. Just let me know if I need to fix something.
No, you're
I'm
good.
really great at things, but left-brained things like this is not my forte.
Yeah,
Which
you're
was
good.
another discussion that Melina and I had.
You're good. All right, guys. So open panel. Just kick it off. Whoever wants to kick it off first, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess, I don't even know what your primary disagreements are with me or Melina, I guess. We share similar views on most things, so yeah. Wherever you want to start, we can, yeah.
The thing that I think was the most annoying thing about my time there, I literally almost walked off the stage, and I've been on with Adam that was my 5th time on Sauce, and I was about to leave.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it was just way too long. And second of all, I just was so frustrated and annoyed by that energy that I was like, now I understand why men want to do things that are not so pleasant to women sometimes. And I felt that way, and I've never felt that way in my life before. So I was kind of like, wow, this is a very strong, like dominant masculine like energy, and coming from a woman. And so I was inherently shocked by that. I was like, who is this woman? And, and I guess maybe we were battling out, I don't believe in alpha women, but maybe we were battling out for that place on the show, if you will, of who was the more dominant woman. And so I think the thing that was very like alarming to me was that she made men to be out like these docile, just very like helpless, emotional, creatures who just like helpless, docile, emotional creatures. And I was like, whoa. Like, this is not how a man should be. First of all, like a man should be very dominant, should be kind of what you were, very dominant, very self-controlled, self-assured, present, unmovable, unshakable, kind of like all the qualities she was emitting. And so I was very confused on that play of where she got her views of masculine and feminine polarity and sexuality. And so was I think my main grievance with her, and it drove me quite nuts, actually. So that was the main thing.
Yeah, so I just want to say one thing, because one of the statements you made was just absolutely wild, and I don't know if this is because you've spent a lot of time in these spaces, so you've kind of like internalized like a hatred for yourself or other women, but the idea that like a woman says something and the first thought that comes to mind is, I understand why men hit women, that is a statement that is so indicative of an unimaginably toxic and self-hating thought process that I can't even imagine how many webs I would have to unweave to get to the core of that. I just had to make that comment. On the second thing, I don't think that in general, I don't think Melina, well, let me finish. I don't think that Melina's issue is that she thinks that men are docile creatures that are soft and emotional or whatever. I think Melina's issue, and probably what I would say as well, is that men and women can both exhibit masculine and feminine traits, or men and women can both exhibit like alpha dominant traits and like submissive, feminine, and emotional traits. It really just depends on the time and place, and it depends on the person.
Right. And I'll adjust the first thing. I never condone violence to women. I have a nonprofit that literally is all about it. But when I mean like very frustrated with women, and sometimes these men they do take, this was another argument we had. They take out their emotions in a way that's not correct and they hurt another human. And she was saying, oh, that makes men more emotional. And I was saying, no, incorrect. That makes men incapable of managing their emotions because they've never been taught how to. And that was a huge thing. She's like, men are more emotional than women. And I'm like, no, they're not. They absolutely are not. Like, just from the standpoint of, you guys mostly have testosterone running through your veins. We have a myriad of estrogen, progesterone. We have a little testosterone too, which brings me to my next point of what you were saying is absolutely correct. We as men and women both do have masculine and feminine energy in us. Literally, if you were to cut the body down the half, the left side is the feminine, the right side is the masculine. And we have not equal, but we have those energies that play into our being. So for instance, the reason why you were attracted to Melina is because your inner feminine was attracted to her inner masculine and vice versa.
And because she's hot.
Stop.
Sorry, what'd you say?
And because she's hot.
Okay, perhaps that as well. But there's still like there was a dynamic that played into that connection, because we go back to the basics of science, and everything in the universe is energy, like everything from the smallest little atom.
Let's do a little point by point on this. I don't understand what you mean when you say men aren't emotional, but they have or as emotional as women, but they have testosterone flowing through them. Wouldn't that be a reason why people could be more emotional? Is because they have testosterone? Like, does anger not count as an emotion for you?
No, it is an emotion. Okay, so then perhaps there's clarification needed on what that means. When she was saying emotional, the prompt, I have to go back and think exactly what the prompt was. But I think we were talking, I don't know. Help me if you can remember, Alex, what the prompt was. But
well, I know, because me and Melina have had this conversation before, that there's an argument that's used oftentimes that women are the emotional ones and men are not the emotional ones, so they're the stoic ones. But in my opinion, that's just wholly not true. Men are quite emotional, and if you look at things like violent crime or whatever, I mean, like, what's a more raw emotion than anger or stuff that's expressed as violence? Like, so, and men get very angry and very violent, depending on the circumstance. So it just seems weird to try to say that like men are less emotional than women. Women are probably more emotional in certain types of ways, and men are probably more emotional in other types of ways. But I don't know if I could draw like an absolute value saying one sex is more emotional than the other. That seems like very reductive and impossible to measure.
Well, I think I think that there's a difference in regards to the emotions. You're correct. Anger is an emotion, and men often they're privy to that because it's single pointed focus for the masculine energy. Men are typically, there's tons of books written about it, TED Talks. No one's great at multitasking, but if anyone is good at it, it's women. We can juggle and balance a lot of things because we're supposed to be mothers. We're supposed to have children. That's why I can run a business and take care of a son and have a nonprofit and do a lot of stuff. Like, I can be doing my yoni eggs, Kegels right now while I'm doing this podcast with you. Like, I can do multiple things at once, So exactly. YoFactors.com, check out my shop. You can buy the yoni eggs there. But anyways, but men are not great at that. You guys are more successful if you look at it. Like, are
you great at doing Kegels?
Stop. I am doing Kegels. Go ahead.
He's probably squeezing up on his perineum, which is great too for men. But in regards to like the fact that you guys are single pointed focus, which is why most of you, who are the top YouTubers in the planet? They're mostly men. I know who they are, and some of them are, there's like a couple women that make the cut. But as a rule of thumb, most women are not Pearly. And Pearly, with all due respect to her, she is I consider her a colleague and somewhat of a friend. Let me say this very carefully because I know this is going to get back to her. When you look at her at first, you don't necessarily see, feminine women. But when she talks and her point of view is quite feminine in regards to the roles of masculine and femininity. I hope I said that PC, because I don't mean any ill will towards Pearly. If you look at your girlfriend or your wife, Melina, she actually kind of does look quite feminine. When you saw her, she was like me. She had a nice dress